What's up, everyone? It's the Interview Queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
What's up, guys? It's Wolverine, Death Machine, Mr. GMSI himself, Brian Cage, and you're watching True Heel Heat. Who better? Nobody.
Rob Van Dam, listen to True Heel Heat. Pow!
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for AEWramble, episode 189, Better to Hurt People, reviewing the March 12th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite, as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the man of 57,000 subscribers. You go to him for your TV and movie reviews, as well as your honest criticisms of Tony Khan and All Elite Wrestling. He is Jimmy Macram. How are you doing?
Hello, ladies and gents. I'm good. How are you?
Doing very well. I am doing very well, sir. We have a lot to get into with the post-Revolution episode of AEW Dynamite, so I appreciate you for joining me today. Appreciate you joining me on Monday. I thought that was one of our better pay-per-view reviews that we've done all year thus far, and in a while as well. I had so much fun talking about the show. I always enjoy talking about the pay-per-views with you because you always have a different perspective than I usually do. So it was nice that we did agree on a lot of the pay-per-view, the good, the bad, and the ugly, except for like one match. So I like that. But we're going to talk about this week's AEW Dynamite as only we can. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys, hear your thoughts on last night's AEW Dynamite. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you can send a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We already got in the chat with us today. Frantic World is here, who says, "What's up, SP3, Jimmy, and chat? Really good episode of Dynamite last night." We also got G Loke, who says, "What it do at THH? Man, smash up that like and let's rock like MVP. Wonder if SP3 likes cats." And we also G Loke saying, "Damn, Speedball, it's like I can't shake this guy. He's everywhere." It's like Jimmy. You feel like Jimmy right now.
Lord. Get out of here, fucking plastic face. Jesus. Oh.
Call him plastic face. That's ridiculous. There, guys, it says, "Hey, THH fam, Speedball arrives. Miss Bayne, a badass. And why Cope versus Mox 2, for God's sake? Because they have to give us the matchup that we should have got at the pay-per-view. That's basically why."
Yeah, shocked so many people were against this match. I mean, the first one wasn't great, and it was ill-placed. But it'll be good. It'll be fun.
This one will be much better. I guarantee you we'll be standing up here, and the first thing I'll say next Thursday is that that was much better than Revolution. And it's what Jimmy always asks for. That does feel like a genuine TV main event.
Yes. Unlike fucking, what was it? Hechicero and Orange. Good Lord. All right. Stop. We'll get to it.
I actually got some pushback from the In the Weeds chat this morning on Fightful Overbooked and from Joe Pearl. Joe Pearl made a good point that the analytics support that no one's going to watch the main event, so that it doesn't matter what you put in the main event. Yeah. But I just said that's a loser mentality. Why would you go in with that mentality?
You know, I watch this shit anyway. You put it whatever. What? This is the same. Wait a minute, isn't it the same thought about the WWE and tag team wrestling, the WWE and women's wrestling for however fucking long? Nobody's gonna watch it anyway. Is it? But perhaps because of the way you book it. Have you considered it? Have you considered? Good Lord. Oh, Joel.
I said there's multiple different things. I was like, if you build, and I know you would have been disappointed, but if you build up the wild card right, that match is much better in the main event spot. If you just say, oh, the wild card can be anybody, it can be this, it can be that. MJF's promo, you could just show the little footage that they showed from Revolution and be like, we haven't heard anything, but we've heard there's rumors that MJF is thinking about leaving or something like that. Give it a hook for him to have the main event spot with his promo. Timeless Toni Storm. Oh, we're going to hear from Timeless Toni Storm for the first time since the Hollywood ending. Play the video package and say, we're going to close the show with Timeless Toni Storm, doing her little promo, and then Megan Bayne staying installed to end the show. That would have been worked. There was so many other things. It feels like he does not know how to book a main event now.
He does not. I don't understand. Well, how about move this shitty match to fucking Collision and just give us the fucking street fight? Get this shit over with. Put a bullet in this fucking thing. Lord.
A good alternative that I saw in the chat in the weeds is they was like, you could have pulled Okada and Brody from Revolution and put it as the main event here.
Ooh. It's not a main event, but it's much closer than this fucking thing.
It's much closer than what we got. And I said that as someone, I've always been a fan of Orange Cassidy. I've been a fan of Orange Cassidy before he came to AEW. I've been a fan of Hechicero since he started showing up in AEW, and I followed his work in CMLL and Rev Pro and all his matches with Zack Sabre Jr. I like both of these guys. That is not a main event. That's where I just closed it. An open shut case. That's not a main event.
Rampage has been an event.
And that's not even the better. And like the whole show was built around this tournament, and you gave us the better match of the tournament earlier in the show, and then the main event is the lesser of the two.
Because we had the that'd be nice. We'll get to it. Yeah, we'll agree.
Davion says, what's up, y'all? Why do we need that bald-headed fraud and old man Cope in another matchup? Because Cope didn't lose. That's why. I think it was fairly obvious that they were going to run this back. So I'm happy they're doing it as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not hanging around or thinking about fucking Dynasty. Hopefully we got Swerve in that spot.
We know Swerve's going to be in the main event for Dynasty. They said that last night. We got Ninja Mortis, who says that pay-per-view was good and this episode was pretty good. We also got I Make Beat, who says hello everyone. He says I did not see Dynamite. God bless THH. Yes, we're here to break it all down for you, sir. We got Davion, who says Speedball's theme song goes crazy. I will say Mikey Ruckus does a good job with his song. I don't have as much complaints as I have usually with Def Rebel themes.
I don't remember his theme song, but I assume it was fine.
Yeah, it had the same kind of beat to Funky Monkey, which is this independent theme song, so I like it. Ninja Morty says, I watch all AEW. I am familiar with Hechicero. Bad call for the main event. Thank you. Thank you. It's not, I don't even understand why people were in the chat arguing with me on In the Weeds. I'm not saying it's the worst decision. Like Sunday, that's a tone deaf decision. When everybody is telling you, you don't make this the main event, no one's going to be interested. And then you do 3 stellar back-to-back-to-back instant classic matches and then end with that, that is 100% on the fault of booking, and that's a tone-deaf decision. This is just a bad call for the main event.
Was there any arguments about this main event outside of Nobody Cares Anyway?
People were like, oh, it was someone said it was a very good matchup. And I was like,
oh my God, that's not the point. Good Lord. Yes. Enough of these people. Enough.
Davion says that main event is better suited for Rampage. Indeed. We also got Ninja Mortis, who says I want either his Impact theme or Brass Monkey. This was I didn't like his Impact theme. I hated his Impact theme. It was too slow for someone like Speedball. Frantic World says that spin kick Speedball did was something else. I did like that as a new finisher for him, because I think they're going to protect Ultimate Weapon for major shows that he's going to be on.
We've already spent entirely too much time talking about fucking Speedball.
We're going to talk plenty about Speedball. He is the star. He's one of the stars of the show last night. Fire Gyro Finisher says they were talking about complaining about anything, but no, the main event thing is a common thing for TK. Thank you. He just doesn't get it. He doesn't have his finger on the pulse of what is basically a main event. And after you made the decision on Sunday, you had Raw had a genuine main event with 2 main event stars and a well-built feud in the cage match between Punk and Seth. Tuesday had NXT with the best NXT episode ever with Stephanie Vaquer and Julia in the main event and the title unification match. That's a main event. And then you have Dynamite here looking like the dragon with the cross-eyes, and you got Hechicero and OC.
That is jarring. Not even the worst main event on fucking Dynamite, by the way. I can think of 2 worse ones off the top of my fucking head.
Dustin Rhodes and Nick Camarado?
That is number 1 with a bullet. It's not close. It's far and away. See, Ric Flair of Dynamite awful main events. And Mercedes Martinez and who was it? Deonna
Purrazzo for the ROH Women's World Championship.
Yeah. There's been a bunch more, but those 2 stick off the top of my head.
We're going back to like 2021 with those. Yeah, it's not even the worst one, but it's just a bad choice. And I understand that a lot of people were hurt coming or banged up coming out of Revolution, but like I said, I think that the most reasonable option would be to build up the wild card and have that be the main event with Ninja Murder, because it was the best match on the show anyway. So it's not even going to qualify for what Jimmy would call a main event at the end of the day, but at least it's the better of the two matches.
Yeah, you're presenting Speedball. I don't want to say it's a big deal, but whatever Ricochet was when he came in, that level. So, yeah, give him the main event. Let everybody know this is a big deal of some kind. Watch this guy in a headband do spin kicks. So, Cobra Kai asking.
Oh my God! Yes, Cobra Kai never dies. Absolutely, that's my show. But anything that you want to discuss from any of the last couple of days, Monday Night Raw, NXT, any of the news?
Was there any news? I don't remember any news. Raw. Oh, if Punk doesn't come out on Raw this Monday coming up and call Roman an empty-headed dumb fuck, then what are we really doing? What are we really doing? What did I do to deserve Roman Reigns, the empty-headed dumb fuck, going on Netflix and going to get the business for himself and cost me my steel cage match? That needs to be the exact quote. Otherwise, we failed as a company. Please and thank you. I didn't see Open Moose yet. I'm gonna watch that. But yeah, I'm curious about NXT.
Awesome.
Did you all love it? Sounds like you all loved it. I just saw the main event.
NXT was the best Shawn Michaels produced TV ever.
How long has he been in charge? 2 years? 3 years?
Since 2021.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. It was an all-time great crowd in MSG. The opener was a fun tag team match. Second match was Jordan and Roxanne. That was a really good matchup. Then Oba and Moose was freaking awesome. Like, it was an awesome house fight. I thought that was the match of the night. Some people would say Javon Evans and Ethan Page was the match of the night. They had a really strong street fight. But the only thing that was off there is that Timo Shield. You got to move on, Sean. You got to realize when something's not working. Timo Shield is not working, especially with the light show that you did. It was not working. Then they did a nice little brawl with Trick and Eddie Thorpe, and then they finished off with Stephanie and Julia, which was a good matchup. It wasn't great, but a good matchup.
So it sounds like it was essentially like a TV pay-per-view. That makes sense.
Yes. Which is his strong suit. The pay-per-views are his strong suit, so.
What? Making matches and getting the fuck out the way?
Yeah.
No idea.
Kind of like Tony Khan. Him and Tony Khan are kind of similar in that when they just get out the fucking way and just let their wrestlers have great matches, they usually have a great show.
Fair enough. I'm going to check it out. At least the open match, because he's the man.
He is. It's unbelievable. He's only been wrestling for, 2 years?
Boy's going to be a star. I can't.
He is. Oh man, Davion, even worse than what I called him. He called them Timu Aces and Eights, running roughshod.
Terrible. So Spears is the leader of that group? Remember?
No. Spears has his own group called The Culling.
Okay. Who's the leader of this fucking group? Or are they like a Shield no leader?
Your boy, Dion Lennox.
Sorry.
It's basically be like if Aces and Eights was led by Wes Briscoe.
This is an odd idea. What is their goal? Have they stated what their goal is yet?
No, they haven't even be given promo time. They're just we're just gonna run in and beat people up stage. Like at least WWE when they introduced the Shield, what was it, like the second or third week they did that sit down interview with them where we got like a little bit of a glimpse of their personalities?
Yeah, at least what they wanted, which is always helpful to fucking know about anybody ever. But hey, we'll see. How long has it been around? A month? You guys turned on them already?
It's not good. Like, you know me. If I think something's not good, I'm gonna say it's not good. If I think something is good, then yeah, I'll give it a chance. So I see the potential, and I think all the guys probably in the group probably have potential, just haven't seen it yet.
Let at least explain themselves first. 3 more weeks.
It's been a month.
Said 3 more weeks. That's 7 weeks.
We're giving them a 7-week trial period.
2 months is not. It's just too much time. 2 months to fucking whatever. Give me a minute.
All right. I'll see. We'll see. I want you to keep watching NXT. So you could let us know what you think of Team New Shield.
Well, that would defeat the purpose. Then we should end it now. I don't want to watch that. But if not, wait a little while.
All right, let's get into AEW Dynamite. Last night's show took place from Fresno, California. What did you think about the crowd last night?
I think they sounded like they were in a 15,000 seat arena. That's what I think they sounded like.
Yes. They were hot for some things, but yeah, we need to go. They were much hotter the last month of television because y'all went to smaller arenas.
Yeah, what the fuck? Whatever.
Yes, please, go back. AEW Dynamite kicked off with Excalibur welcoming us alongside Taz before immediately throwing it to the introduction for the new AEW International Champion, Kenny by God Omega. He makes his entrance to Battle Cry. He got a nice ovation from the crowd, lots of pyro. They really treat him like a star. This was one of the bigger reactions of the night. I love the people in the first row handing him flowers and gifts, and Kenny with the nice little lovable, wholesome reaction to it. Kenny gets into the ring and he says this is all still so wild to him. As before 2025, he was more than happy to just stand in the ring to say that he was cleared to try and do this again. What makes it feel like a dream is that we're barely into the year, but thanks to the fans, doctors, someone he never thought he'd call a friend, Will Ospreay, not only having his back, but he is back, and he's back with a singles title for the first time in a couple of years. One final person he needs to thank, controversial as it may be, he wants to thank Konosuke Takeshita, who pushed him harder than he ever imagined. If it wasn't for Takeshita dragging him to the place he needed to be, he wouldn't be here in front of the fans. So he thanks Takeshita for making this a true international championship. Omega brought up Tony Khan coming up with the international title Eliminator tournament and thinks that it's a great idea as it will determine who is the best on the planet, and Omega will be watching each and every match closely as he wants to see who he will look at to being the best. Omega hits his final line, goodbye, wah, and good night, bang, always gets a big reaction as he goes outside the ring and once again greets the fans. He signs some autographs, high-fives some fans before the ops come out, and he has a brief little stare down with Katsuyori Shibata, who will be a part of the Eliminator tournament. So looking at the bracket here, it will be basically AEW is taking cues from WWE in the not so much of a tournament, more of qualifying matches for a number one contenders fatal four-way, where we're going to have on the top half the matches that we'll see on this show. Orange Cassidy of the United States going one-on-one with Hechicero of Mexico from CMLL. The wild card member versus Mexico's own the Beast Mortos. And then Saturday on Collision, we got Katsuyori Shibata of Japan going one-on-one with Ricochet of the United States. And we got Mark Briscoe of the United States going one-on-one with Australia's own Mark Davis. Who do you think will win the Collision side of things coming up on Saturday?
We all lose. What do you mean? This is a heinous bracket. I'm gonna go with Davis and Ricochet.
Okay. Think to even up two baby faces, two heels for next week.
Yeah, and Hollywood Ospreay is gonna get this guy a win here. It's Mark Briscoe. Can't beat Mark Briscoe.
What did you think about Kenny's promo?
Kenny is a bore, and he looks like a bum. But for some reason, I find him infinitely watchable. I don't know what it is. I'm enamored. It's star power, I guess. I can't help it. It's like, word. You tell him, sir. I don't know what it is. But good on him. I'm glad he got some airtime. And he felt like a star. Even if he doesn't sound or fucking dress like one. What is going on? This needs to be a study of some kind. I know if you're just tuning in, I know it sounds like I'm not a fan. I am.
Oh, you're awful. You're an awful.
I gotta call it like I see it. I gotta call it like I see it. Sorry.
A bunch of people calling for Speedball to win the 4-way next week. Frantic Girl says, man, I want to see Shibata versus Kenny, but I really want to see Kenny versus Speedball. And Power Driver Finisher agrees with you. Ricochet and Davis for the win on Saturday.
Please and thank you.
I think Ricochet and Briscoe wins.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. Ricochet is the only heel in that match. Could be fun.
Yeah, no, that's what I want. I want Ricochet to be the only heel. Just him like running away from everybody and getting the cheap shots in.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Whatever it is, it'll be fine. Fantastic. That'll be nice. 4-way matchup.
And that led into the opener on this show of the Ops. Samoa Joe, Hook, and Katsuyori Shibata versus Eli Theus, Gabriel Eros, and our boy, Vinny Pacifico, who's been on the channel a few times already.
What the fuck that is?
True Hill Heat boy. Vinny Pacifico. Joe got some huge chants. He lit up Eli in the corner with strikes. Then Hook tagged in and he launched arrows around with a series of throws before Pacifico tried to start, and Hook just tripped him. This allowed Katsuyori Shibata to tag in. He did his signature corner stalling dropkick. Rear naked choke into the PK, kicking freaking Vinny's head off. And Shibata picks up the 1-2-3 for the Ops. Another dominant win here. A quick warm-up for Shibata ahead of his matchup against Ricochet on Collision. And speaking of which, we heard from Ricochet backstage after the matchup, who said that despite being screwed at Revolution, it doesn't mean his quest for gold is over. He didn't even want that ugly-ass embassy robe anyway. But the gold Kenny is holding looks much better. Ricochet knows what Shibata is capable of, so he's giving him an option to quit before their match. If not, he won't be responsible for what happens to him on Saturday. Ricochet continues to be the revelation on the mic. This was a good promo and started the night of really good promos from various people on this show. The match, it was what it was, but I like that the show did have a show-long narrative focused on this international championship eliminator tournament. So I give it points for that. What did you think? So the match and Ricochet's promo.
The match was what it was, which was a squash and essentially a waste of my time. But hey, the promo was good. I thought Ricochet comes across like the most hateable person on the planet. He is, everything about him screams hate me. From his outfit to his excuses to his I forget the exact, disdain is a good word. Disdain for things he can't have, which is fantastic. He can't have the robe. Fuck it. I didn't want it anyway.
No, I was like, he instantly got his heat back for me because he said he didn't want that ugly ass robe anyway.
It's like all them niggas on the street. Holler at a girl, she does nothing for you. Get out of here! You're probably a lesbian anyway, bitch. I'm like, oh Jesus.
I didn't want that bitch anyway.
Ricochet is fucking awful in the best of way.
Davion says, where does Ricochet rank in top heels on AEW TV?
We talking about like
right now,
or like his quality of work?
His quality of work, I have him as number 1 right now on my scale. Number 2 is MJF. After last night, Christian is back in the top 3. But that's how I rank it. How would you rank him?
MJF 1. Probably Ricochet 2. You know what? After Christian's promo, I might have to put Christian 1 too. It's just so good. It was just so good. I'll put Ricochet 2, at least for the next week or so, and then Christian would be 3rd. We're talking about
I felt like everybody who's a Christian fan was like, "We're so back! We're so back!" After last night.
Where has this been? Where's Christian been? Every time he's on TV, it's the greatest thing ever. Last time we saw him backstage, I think he was watching his boys get fucked up and then dipped.
And then came in. It was like, what happened?
Oh my God, this is the man. Come on, man.
He's so good. He is so good. Chilla with Jay says Ricochet and Kenny would be hilarious mic work. I need that.
Oh yeah,
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Oh, the good brothers here. Good to see you, Nicky Boy, Negro Buck, Nick Jackson. We got Power Driver Finisher says they've been holding Christian back. Yeah, they wanted the cash-in to be a surprise, and then they just said fuck it.
He gets choked out like a big dope. Doesn't know how cash-ins work anymore. You know he's done it already in AEW.
A lot better then. We're told that next week on Dynamite, after a recap of the Revolution main event, it will be Jon Moxley defending the AEW World Championship against Cope in a street fight, with the winner going on to verse Swerve Strickland at Dynasty. Then we saw cameras caught up with Swerve last Sunday as he was asked by the cameraman when he wants to challenge for the AEW title. He said last year at Dynasty, Strickland, he became the first ever Black AEW World Champion, and this year he looks to do it twice. Cope then walks in and said that he didn't lose tonight. There's still a chance he could be the AEW World Champion before Dynasty gets here, and there's a chance Swerve will be looking across the ring at him at the pay-per-view. Swerve said that's exactly what he'd do, too. And they bumped fists after Copeland walked away. Strickland gave him a little nod of respect. Then we went to commercial break. When we came back from commercial break, we heard from the other side of next week's AEW World Title street fight in Jon Moxley. He says that the rated R superstar thinks that he's lucky to have walked away from Revolution with the AEW World Championship. Moxley said that he should have never been in that position in the first place. He should have put Cope out of his misery before Christian Cage even got into the matchup. Moxley hurt Cope, who was sucking wind, couldn't turn his neck, but he still came forward again and again. Whatever Cope is made of is rare, and he can admire that, but you can take the rules, you can take the countouts, the disqualifications, whatever you want. Cope can take the rules. Moxley will take his excuses. Moxley underestimated Cope's grit, no matter what avalanches befall him, but there's a reason why Moxley is the world champion. There's a difference between amateurs and professionals. The difference is Moxley never makes the same mistake twice. Just the appearance of Moxley on the screen did get massive boos from the crowd in the arena, and it is official. It will be for the AEW World Championship in a street fight, Jon Moxley versus Cope 2, and the winner will move on to verse Swerve Strickland Sunday, April 6th in Philadelphia at AEW Dynasty for the world title. What did you think about this set of promos, Cope and Swerve, as well as Moxley's promo ahead of next week?
How long has the Death Ride been going on?
I guess you could say the official start was the plastic bag spot at All Out in September.
Jesus. Damn. Wow. All right. So this is Moxley's fifth character in about 6 months. I don't understand what the fuck this was. This is not the same guy who was just talking on fucking Wednesday. Now he's got mutual respect for Cope. He didn't know Edge was tough? Really? That comes as a surprise to him. Good Lord. This stinks. And I don't know what the fuck he's blabbing about. I'm so fucking bothered. Which is a shame. He used to be the best two-minute promo in the business. Now I need him to stop talking altogether. Please and thank you. I need a sixth character. The sixth character is The Undertaker. You just don't talk. Just come to the ring, do your thing. Shut the fuck up.
He looks great. So that might work.
That's, yeah, right? Right? That's for Edge and Swerve. Mutual respect. They're both whatever. It's whatever. It is what it is. It wasn't bad. It was fine. A little out of place, considering all the things that have happened since Sunday, but sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Edge definitely wanted to be Cope. He just got screwed by his best friend and didn't win the world title. He's over here talking about, you might be seeing me. What the fuck are you babbling about? Please go somewhere. Go sit down. Oh.
It's like, Cope, what will you realize that you were much better suited in the TNT title division than the world title division?
Please. Go fight Daniel Garcia or somebody. Fucking. Where's Malachi Black at? I ain't seen him anywhere. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Nicky Boy says, I guess they heard you saying the match at Revolution should have been a plunder match, SP3, laughing emoji. I mean, yeah, they're just doing it 2 weeks too late.
Edge is 53? No way.
Yeah. Think so.
Jesus.
I'm not sure. Let me see.
His face looks it. The rest of him doesn't, but his face certainly looks 53. That boy's a mess. Good Lord. No disrespect, sir. Legend of the highest order. Oh, good Lord.
That's wild. That's so mean. You're so mean, sir. Why are you so mean? I'm gonna make sure here. He's 51. He's 51.
Okay, close enough.
Yeah, close enough.
Shave your head, nigga.
He does got a big ball spot. Like just embrace the Clippers. Embrace the Clippers. You see how well Moxley looks when he embraced the Clippers.
This is true. I'm not blaming anybody. I am blaming Cope a little bit, but he's half the match. I'm not sure what you want from me. That's how the way he half the match. Old and he's slow and he's not interesting.
And it wasn't the right match for them to do. And honestly, the most complaints that I've heard is about the choice of making that the main event when everybody said not to make the main event.
Everybody and their mother knew this was a bad idea, except 3 people, apparently.
Here we are. Next up, we had tag team action. It was Brian Cage and Jalistico going up against Hologram with Hologram and Powerhouse Hobbs. This was a nice little styles clash, if you will, with the 2 big men and the 2 luchadors. This match came about earlier in the day with Hobbs issuing a challenge to one member of the Don Callis family and LFI as Harley Graham came in and accepted the match on Hologram's behalf before shutting down. Hobbs wasted no time going after Cage outside as Hologram and Jalistico picked things up where they left off last week on Collision, and they had a banger on Collision last week. Taz talked about the history between Hobbs and Cage and Team Taz, but those days are long gone. Hard chops fired off by Jalistico. This match can basically be broken down into when it was Hologram and Jalistico in the ring, you had some nice, fun lucha action. When it was Hobbs and Brian Cage in the ring, you had some hard-hitting host fight action. Whenever they tried to mix up those combinations, something was just a little bit off. I think Brian Cage and Hologram was all right, especially with Brian Cage in offense. I thought Brian Cage was really good throughout this matchup, but Hobbs and Jalistico had like negative chemistry together. It was like really bad. Whenever they went at it, it did not work out well. Before the commercial break, Mortos was putting the boots outside to Hologram before Hologram tries to make the save before swiveling her hips. This distracted Mortos so much he felt seduced. He almost had a nervous breakdown seeing Hologram do that hip swivel. Jalisco had to pull his LFI teammate away from her. Back in the ring, Hologram fired off a thrust kick. Jalisco responded with a crucifix bomb, only for Hologram to hit a moonsault follow-away slam. Tag to Hobbs, who ragdolled Jalisco before Meat Chance came out as he clashed with Cage. They went at it for a bit. Jalisco had one horrible looking botch where he just goes, I think he goes for like a springboard drop kick, but he only like slightly touches Hobbs. He pissed off Hobbs, gets up, and he just slams Jalisco down with a power slam, kind of like he was pissed off at him for botching. And then Jalisco goes for a springboard inside, but Hobbs is able to reverse that into a spine buster in midair for the 1-2-3. Post-match, Lance Archer and Mark Davis came out to help Cage as they all stared down with Hobbs, who stood his ground in the ring. So overall, it was just fine, but like I said, I thought the Jalisco and Hobbs portion of this matchup did not go well at all. But other than that, it was good. What did you think?
I have a question. I don't watch Collision, so maybe this has been answered already. Where's the snake? Jake.
He hasn't been on in a few weeks, and you know he always deals with like health issues, so I'm guessing it's that, or I mean, I think he's still under AEW contract still though.
Such high hopes. Oh, this match, I think you described it perfectly. This is the fucking mess. Brian Cage was fantastic. Then I realized, as I watched him and thought he was fantastic, that Brian Cage has always been fantastic. That's never been his issue. This issue doesn't really have much personality, even a little bit. Jalisco in particular was terrible. No disrespect, sir. I'm sure you're a wonderful competitor, but you were not very good here, even a little bit. This is a waste of my time, and not in the same way that the Joe match was. This was like, I don't want to say a bore. A bore is not the right word, but you ever have an existential crisis when you're watching something, going, I should be doing something productive for my life, and instead, I am watching this. I'm never going to make it to where I want to make it. That's how I felt watching this. It's really over. All my teachers were right. You don't apply yourself.
Yeah, this was a very much of a collision matchup. You had all the collisions, like special performers. Like Hologram is usually one collision. Him and Jalisco just had a match on Collision last Saturday. Hobbs has been mostly on Collision as well. He dabbles in Dynamite, but he's like the main person who we usually see on Dynamite out of all four of these guys. So yeah, felt the first two matches of the show felt very much like I was like, are they booking a Collision? This is what, at the point that I messaged you in the True Hill Heat chat, I was like, oh man, I think the streak of good to great Dynamites is over with the first two matches of this show. It got better with the promos, but it was not a good start after the Omega promo, this kickoff.
And to be fair, he wasn't fucking doing Shakespeare out there. This is what I expected. As you know, I was very tepid about the Dynamite after Revolution, and this just confirmed what I thought. Like, oh no, here we go. This is not what I expected, but I expected this level of work.
Everybody's hurt, so we're gonna have the what do you call it? The treachery, the outliers that weren't on the card of Revolution. Now they're gonna get their time on Dynamite this week.
I can't find something in the middle of 9 pay-per-view matches and 4. There's like no middle ground here, even a little bit.
No one can give us a 7-match card. Give me a 7-match card. 7 is perfect. AEW, I said their sweet spot is 8 to 9. It's really 8. 8 is their sweet spot.
Because we cut a couple of those matches. You just put it on this fucking show. Bro, like you said, Brody and Okada. What else did I put on there? We gotta keep the women, because good lord, I would put that fucking tag title match in here. except
Yeah.
shorter.
It's the only tag match on the show out of all the, and there's 8 other singles matches. So you kind of do need you. If I had to pick between the tag title match and the Continental title match, I probably would have put the Continental title match on this show.
Oh, certainly.
and plus AEW pay-per-views do need a bathroom break match, and that's what Hurt Syndicate and
do they?
And yeah, because they kind of go boom, 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 boom.
How much you go shorter? You fucking asses. 4-hour pay-per-view for.
So the Chase was like very, very Dallas Maverick lineup we got from Dynamite last night.
I love that. Everybody, all right, take it easy. Cut the world title match. All right, stop it.
The world title match was not it wasn't horrible. It's just horribly placed. Last Sunday we get Alicia Toot. She finds the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Hurt Syndicate, and whose asses they need to beat next. MVP says that's what he loves about Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley. No one works harder than the Hurt Syndicate, which means that no one should play harder than they do. Lashley wants to go to the gym, but MVP wants them to take the week off and don't need to come to TV, enjoy their break. MVP said that they want to fight more and do what they do better than anyone else. They want to hurt people. I love how over that catchphrase is.
It's a great catchphrase. Alicia Toot. She has a stinger, right? At the beginning of the show.
Was she?
Not the show. Our show. She's in.
Yeah.
With blonde hair, it's not the same. She looks very generic. And she's clearly got some type of charisma because she sounds great here. But good Lord, on Dynamite, she sounds like a fucking robot. One of the fucking Stepford wives. She stinks. Sorry, man. Love you, MJF. You have great taste and deliciousness.
It's hard because you're on the same show as Renee, who's probably behind Mean Gene Oakland is like the greatest backstage interviewer of all time.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at that take.
Yeah. We get probably my favorite part of the show is the next two segments, because first we get this epic video package about the Hollywood ending and the entire history between timeless Toni Storm and Mariah May going back to their first meeting in November of 2023. You have Ben Mankiewicz. Again, he made a brief cameo highlighting the story as well. This absolutely should have made a better Revolution, and the video package just further emphasizes why it should have been the main event of Revolution, because they go and they show the highlights of the matchup. You see the bloodshed. You see how the shoe got involved and everything, how they tied everything up in a perfect bow. This is not only the best women's storyline that AEW ever done. I think this is like top 5 after that matchup on Revolution. It's a top 5 all-time feud for AEW. What did you think about the video package?
I gotta hear this top 5 first. Video package was fucking fantastic. That's and I knew right away. We were like 30 seconds in. I was like, this is fucking fantastic. That is up there. That's my Austin Rock My Way, and then this one are my favorite video package.
Wow.
Yeah, I love this.
Probably
watch again.
Yeah, that's probably a top 5 video package all time. Yeah. Austin Rock My Way, Dragon before WrestleMania 30, the Imagine Dragon song, and then I would probably put this third, or the Michaels Taker running up that hill.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That tells a great story too.
As far as AEW rivalries, of course, CM Punk and MJF. I think it's going to be hard for anybody to bypass that. Hangman and Omega for me. I know not high on your list, but that's in the top 5 for me. Bucks and Lucha Bros.
As a rivalry?
As a rivalry, yeah. I wouldn't. I probably would put Toni and Mariah ahead of them.
I would hope
But
so.
Trying to think who would be the fifth. Maybe. Oh, Hangman and Swerve. Hangman and Swerve. I would put. I would probably rank it: Punk, MJF, Hangman, Swerve, Omega and Hangman, then Toni and Mariah, Bucks and Lucha.
Then that's it. Fantastic top four. I like that four. I'm not mad at that four. I don't know. Toni and Mariah. I can't pretend like I didn't watch the middle of this feud. I'm not going to do that. So you can cut out a video package, but not my memory.
They just completely cut out the title reign, basically. It was like she won it all in, then a couple of months passed, and then she came back. Toni came back.
So yeah, I'd probably put it fourth. And those you mentioned are probably the only ones that put in the conversation.
We got Nikki Boy who says that was an amazing video package. King Ellie, you have to be specific because it's two different ones for Undertaker and HBK. Undertaker and HBK actually at WrestleMania 26, they play some kind of other like video package for it instead of the Running Up That Hill. Running Up That Hill is basically from Michaels making the challenge at the Slammies through the Elimination Chamber. Before that, that Running Up That Hill one is before they even make the match official for WrestleMania 26.
Jesus. What a refute that was. That was really well done.
Yeah. It was. We got Chase who says, my favorite for hilarity, Cena versus Orton, Letters in the Sky. I don't even know what you're talking about.
About to say,
I don't even know what you're talking about. We got Nikki Boy who says, love the Daniel Bryan monster video. King Potate says Swerve and Hangman is top tier. Yeah, 100%. The Power Driver finisher. I hate you sometimes. Really. I mean that with love. Ninja Mortis says Rosa Britt when Britt was halfway better. Rosa and Britt probably would be in the conversation if Toni and Mariah never happened.
Rosa and Britt have like two separate feuds. It's broken up by other stuff. It's not like they just kept it going like Mariah and Toni once Toni came back. There's other stuff in the middle there. I can't co-sign that.
No. We got Chilling with Chase says before the Iron Man match they played it trying to hype it as the greatest feud ever. I probably like if I'm given I was gonna pitch it of greatest John Cena rivals. I probably would try my best to not put Orton in the top 5. Like even though they tried to push it, like he's his greatest rival. I think that Edge is a better rival for him and had a better feud with him. Punk had a better feud and better rivalry with him. AJ Styles had a better feud and rivalry with him. The DX, maybe separately and together, they had a better rivalry with him.
No. It's over. You gave it a shot. You gave it the old college try. Edge, Punk, Styles, end of list. Sorry. You gave it a shot. Orton, you're up. You're up. Yes.
No. Batista. Batista was better. Batista.
Take the Triple H feud and the Shawn Michaels feud.
Come on, it said Batista. No, this guy. Kevin Owens. No. Kevin Owens is the other one.
Kevin Owens. Carlito. No. Stop. It's over. It's a wrap. You're not getting out of this. It is what it is.
I will come up with anything to not fit Orton in the top because they literally shoved it down our throat and tried to put it across as one of their greatest rivalries of all time, and it's not.
They fought 100 times. Orton's on the list. I'm sorry.
He is on the list. Top 10. Then we got after the fantastic video package, and I love the final line was Nigel saying this was a cinematic masterpiece because it was. The Hollywood ending was that. We hear from the winner of the Hollywood ending, the reigning AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. She has stitches in her lip, She says that with stitches in her lip, staples in her head, and glass in her ass, Storm stands before you to say that this champ is still the champ. Revolution was her Hollywood ending, as a chunk of her heart is gone forever. But looking at the AEW Women's World Championship, it was well worth it. It's time for a new beginning. It's her honor to be the Women's World Champion because this is the most talented locker room in all of professional wrestling. There are so many champions. One is in a bloody briefcase. Other champions are belt collectors. Probably our first minor tease to a Storm Mercedes matchup there. But when you fight with Storm, it's like visiting the zoo. She bleeds like a pig, licks like a giraffe, and she will eat you like a lion. Storm promises that you'll never hear her meow because she's no pussy. Nobody swings like Toni Storm. So, ladies, put your keys in the bowl and let this orgy begin. It will be messy, it will be sweaty, and it will always be timeless. This was a fantastic promo. I loved it. I love how over the top she is, and it always pops me when she cuts these monologues. It's basically a monologue that she's giving us. It's not a promo. It's a monologue. As Toni is posing, though, she is decked from behind by none other than the Mega Sis, Megan Bayne. Once again, standing tall over another woman on the roster, and it seems that we have our next number one contender for timeless Toni Storm, and I think this was the right choice because she really was the only kind of heel that they've been building up while they finish off Storm in May, and we talked about it last week with how dominant she looked in the tag team matchup, that she was probably the right choice to go to next. So I like this, got what I wanted. The promo was great, the video package was awesome, and the attack by Megan Bayne is probably the best choice for the next challenger. What did you think about the promo and Megan Bayne coming out?
We mentioned Undertaker earlier. I think when this is all said and done, assuming this keeps up for a little while longer, you got to have Toni Storm in the conversation for second greatest gimmick ever, because that's all this really is it's a gimmick that she's playing to the fullest extent. I can't believe how much I enjoy this. It is shocking to me. That is, monologue's a good word. Probably my favorite monologue in forever. Just one person with a microphone being preposterous. That orgy line is an all-timer. The only one better that I heard from her was probably "sock you in the box," which is a wild thing to say on TV. Yeah, this is great. And Megan Bayne, she's been built well. Barry Thunder Rosa to do it, but she's been built well. And I'm curious as to how that match plays out. Mariah May is a different breed. So I'm curious to see what Toni Storm does when it's not against Mariah May.
This seems like the type of I would book this the best example, speaking of John Cena, another great John Cena feud, probably better than Orton, Umaga versus Cena, where the monster heel dominates and the babyface is just able to seal the win.
I'm not mad at that. Yeah, sure. I'm not mad. I was thinking about what I want to do with Megan. That's not really important. Sorry. You're taking a loss.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We got Frantic World says this was good, so good and funny. Make Megan Bayne AEW Women's Champion. I wouldn't move away from timeless Toni Storm yet, and I really feel
you have to take the belt off Austin and put it on Kane. Are you out of your fucking mind, Frank? What's the matter with you? I like Megan Bayne, but are you out of your mind? Did you not just hear what Toni Storm said? You not see how over that fucking thing was? If you not read on, take the belt off Toni Storm and put it on Megan Bayne. I love Megan Bayne. She's been fantastic. But come on. Let's not lose our fucking minds here. Jesus.
Oh, we got King Potato who says Toni Storm. It'd be like the tramp is here. I love how her version is the tramp is still the champ.
That's wild.
I'm the whore you adore. She's so great. She's so great at everything she does. Yeah, but I agree. She is the top star right now. Just because we're pushing a monster heel, that's a monster heel for the top star to overcome.
Yeah, she'll have her time eventually.
That's like telling me King Kong Bundy should beat Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 2. I'm like, what?
No.
Next up is our first AEW Dynasty International Title Eliminator Tournament matchup. The Beast Mortos comes out to the ring, and he's facing the wild card, and it is none other than my boy, Speedball Mike Bailey, who got a good reaction from this Fresno crowd. They know who he was. They got the nice little music for him as well. And I thought this was a good opponent for him to start out with also. We get a crazy fast series of counters to start things off early on. Bailey fired off some stiff kicks to drop Mortos. Rapid fire kicks send Mortos to the outside. Bailey missed a moonsault off the apron, landed on his feet. Mortos then runned him down with a big forearm shot. Bailey was able to battle back with more kicks before heading back inside. He rolled through a top rope attack. He low bridged Mortos back to the outside, where he hit a somersault dive to take things to our commercial break. During the break, Mortos regained the control with a twisting tornado that looked beautiful. I was like, God damn, this guy's so good. Bailey was back in the driver's seat with a running shooting star press for a 2, but Morno seemingly dodged a high kick and took a powder. He ate a pump kick on the apron, leading to a springboard moonsault to the floor by Speedball. Back inside, Speedball hit a Liger bomb for a near fall. He went up to the top rope and missed a shooting star press. He rolled through and he ran right into a pop-up Samoan drop, but Mortos was only able to get 2. Mortos went up to the top rope, but he took too long, so Bailey swept the leg, listening to his teachers at Cobra Kai. Both battled until Mortos hits the one move that always gets a pop from me, the Avalanche Press Slam. I always love that shit. That got a very close near fall for him. Bailey avoided a discus strike and traded slaps with Mortos until Mortos hit a torture rack backbreaker. Discus clothesline turning Bailey inside out. Mortos wanted a home run power bomb, but Bailey was able to roll through into a Hurricane Rana for a near fall, but then got a PK. Then we get a moonsault double knees from Bailey, who rounded up, and he hits a high speed, basically tornado crescent kick right to the head, roundhouse kick, knocking Mortos out. He gets a 1-2-3 to move on to next week's 4-way final for the AEW Dynasty International Championship Eliminator Tournament. A great showing for Speedball in his debut for AEW, and it was made official after the matchup on social media. Tony Khan put up the graphic. Speedball Mike Bailey is hashtag all elite, and he moves on to the 4-way next week that will determine who faces Kenny Omega for the AEW International Championship on
Don't
Sunday,
delete that picture.
On Sunday, April 6th at AEW Dynasty. I thought this was an awesome showing for Speedball and a really good matchup here. I thought that Mortos was a good choice for the high flying and kicks of Speedball Mike Bailey. He's always the great base guy, and he always stands out in these spots. So I thought this was the best match of the night. Spoiler alert. What did you think, Jimmy?
Good match. Let's move on.
You wanted me to not delete something.
I didn't want to. I remember he's a friend of the channel, right? So I don't want to say what I can't say what I want to say.
No, go ahead. You know you want to say.
Put that picture up. This is the guy. Look at this fucking picture. What am I supposed to do with this, sir? Look at this. It's a nigga with a plastic face and a mullet.
A plastic face.
What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? I don't understand. Listen. It's very I would say impressive, but not really. Very well done match. Mortos. Let me ask you something. If you didn't know who these two people were, right, and you watched that match, would you not pick Mortos? The bigger and still seemingly athletic of the two? I was gonna disagree.
He's not more athletic than Speedball.
Athletic doesn't just mean fucking agility, sir. It's part of athleticism. Who's stronger? That's athleticism.
Okay, that's fair. He is stronger.
Yeah, no offense. I know. This is another one of them guys you guys like that you get sick of after one set of blue. If it's Dragon Lee, it's Ricochet, it's one of them guys. I'm sorry. It's one of those guys you guys like. And then, like kids, they want something for Christmas, they get it for Christmas, they play for a little while, and then they move on. I'm okay with it. But, like, you don't want me to join in with the jubilation. I can't do that. I watch this 5'8" nigga kick monsters. Like, I don't understand what you want from me. I watched him come out at the end of that fucking show, and it's so silly. He comes out and the tiny man comes out at the end, the Scooby smile. He just does. It's like, what the fuck?
Cobra Kai, man, never dies.
No, I got the same feeling I got when this is gonna be a wild comparison, but I'm just being honest. This is the exact same feeling I got when I watched the bikini contest at the 2000 Royal Rumble. Like, my mom was in the room with me, and I was like, "This is wrestling." Yeah, sorry. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Good Lord, I'm sorry. This is wrestling.
I'll just put it here just in case.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
A couple of you agree with me. Thank you. I'm about to say, I don't want to be alone on this fucking island. It's lonely out here. Frank World, I saw the match with fucking what's his face, the one of the best wrestlers on the planet, Will Ospreay. Everybody told me it was fucking 5 stars and wasn't close.
It was great. Great match.
Sure.
You gave it like 4 stars.
I love watching niggas flip around, but then I leave the circus show and I go watch some wrestling. No disrespect to anybody.
Yes, it was a wild comparisons, but that is why you watch AEWramble, for wild comparisons from Jimmy Macram. The bikini contest from WrestleMania 2000.
No, the Rumble 2000. Have some respect.
Oh, the Rumble 2000. Jesus. I have to deal with this every Thursday, folks.
If you got a better example, I feel free. Whenever you felt embarrassed about wrestling, I was just like, yo, what the fuck? Why can't this guy?
I didn't feel embarrassed watching this matchup.
I know you didn't. I'm asking you for a time you did feel embarrassed. That's how I would feel about this.
Big Dick, anything with Big Dick Johnson.
Or the Dicks. Remember the Dicks from like 2006, I want to say?
The Dicks. Hornswoggle in DX.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's a good one. Naked Midian. Yeah.
There are way more embarrassing times than this. Come on.
This is exactly how I felt.
It's ridiculous.
Luckily, I was alone.
You're ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Listen, I get why people feel that way about Orange Cassidy, or I just don't feel that way about Orange Cassidy. Jinder Mahal. Yeah, but that's embarrassing to like other wrestling fans. That's not embarrassing to like you would have to explain that to people. You know, that guy's huge. Of course he's the champion. Why wouldn't he be? Yeah, like this is just like ill. What are we doing?
But you said the match was good.
Yeah, the match was good. But then he's got to come to the ring first of all. He comes to the ring with fucking no shoes, no shoes, a headband, a mullet in 2025, and that face. And then he's fucking doing these kicks. That kicks where he goes back and forth, like
the speed kicks. Yeah,
it's fucking heinous. What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do?
Katie Vick. Yeah, these are much more embarrassing times than watching Speedball Mike Bailey. What are we doing? Katie Vick, Claire Lynch. Claire Lynch. Yeah, that was bad.
Thank you, M. Bison. It's just corny. The Naomi kicks? Maybe. It was the last time I watched the fucking Naomi match in full. I couldn't tell you. Sure, that sounds right, I guess. Does she do those kicks? I'm sorry. And Naomi isn't sold to me as the best thing since sliced bread. Knock it off.
Who's selling Speedball as the next greatest thing sliced bread? I just like
you. It. Yeah, why? That'd be nice. Friend of the channel, I suppose. I wish you nothing. That's not true. I wish you.
We should just move on.
I was gonna say I wish you nothing but the best, but if you get the best, that means you're all over my TV and I don't want to watch. So I wish you nothing but success in your life, is what we'll say.
Can't take him nowhere. Cannot take him anywhere. Renee Paquette is backstage with the patriarchy and asks about Christian Cage failed cash-in at Revolution. Cage refuses to speak to anyone related to Jon Moxley, so he kicks Renee out of here. So this will be the most. He says so. This will be the most boring interview in history. Says Paquette should take a hint, as she's blonde and not smart, to get out of his sight. Paquette leaves so Christian can talk into the camera, and he says that he is still the next undisputed AEW World Champion and demands that his contract be returned to him. Cage says that he signed for a singles world title match against Cope, not a three-way match. What? Cage said he didn't tap out. He was relegating his breathing. Oh my God. This popped me so much. Then Nick Wayne cuts him off and says Cage is lying to everyone. And if he stuck to the plan, maybe Christian would be the world champion. And they all deserve an apology. Cage says that he's sorry. It's come to this. And pushes Nick as Mother Wayne tries to intervene. But Cage says that if she does something, she'll be back working the midnight shift at Waffle House. Is who Nick is to question his tactics. How many world titles has he ever won? How many world titles did his biological father ever win? Ooh, they got the oohs from the live crowd. Nick should be thanking Christian that he found him and didn't end up a coward like his father, who died in front of his mother's face. Christian says that he'll be AEW World Champion if it's the last thing he ever does, and says that for Nick to keep his mouth shut and ride his coattails, or it'll be the last thing he ever does. Cage then walks off, as Kent Sabian was left conflicted, but walked off with Christian, as Mother Wayne stayed behind with her son. This was probably the best. I don't know. It's a competition between Timeless Toni Storm and this for the best part of the goddamn show.
Fucking amazing.
He's back, baby. Back, baby.
Just like that. Just turned it on. It's light work. How fantastic was that? He just went in. I just don't know which part was better, the serious part or the ridiculous part. I'm not sure if relegating breathing is the best part or threatening
He's simply relegating his breathing.
How good was that? Top tier shit from Christian. I'm glad he's back on TV. He's always a bump. Don't know where this goes. I don't see Nick Wayne as a likable babyface, so I feel like we're in deep shit here. But hey, maybe he'll come around. Maybe he'll be the Wheeler Yuta of this group. He just keeps teasing he's going to leave and doesn't.
I think this was actually some progression in the patriarchy, which I don't think we've had since the Copeland feud, basically.
I'll say since Killswitch.
Yeah. King Potato says Christian should whoop that boy with his belt for getting out of line like that.
I ain't mad at that.
We got Nikki Boy. He says, "My glorious patriarch." We got
So weird.
M Bison. He says Christian was savage. We also got King Potato says Christian destroyed his entire family, brought Nick Wayne's dad back from the dead, and reburied him.
How are you a coward for dying in front of your wife?
Yo, that was my favorite line because that was like, holy shit. Like, what? Oh my god.
What's wrong with
Oh
this
my
girl?
god. He was so good here. He was so good.
God
We got Annika who's like, Cope got 1 more year. Give me 5 more years of heel Christian. And M. Bison says, Christian was always better than Edge and still is. Let's not lie.
I don't know if he's always been better, but it's been a long fucking while. I ain't gonna hold you. At least 20 years. Yeah, at least 20 years.
Yeah. Ever since like Christian hit his stride, which was like the tail end of WWE, and then when he went to TNA, they tried to kind of bring him back down to earth when he returned to WWE. But man, like ever since he turned heel in AEW, it's been off to the races, and he's getting the gap between him and Cope.
Goddamn right. I don't know if most people consider him better all the time, just because of the jarring amount of love people have for Edge. Though he might be whittling away at that at the moment. But he's better than Edge to me all time. I think he's a better promo. I think he's better in the ring. I think he's more charismatic. And he's not an awful writer like Edge is. Edge's ideas are terrible. All of them. Sorry.
Heel Judgment Day. Remember that? Remember him as a heel in Judgment Day doing fucking hometown heat?
I mean, he did help get over Rhea and what's his face. So that's something, I guess. But even then, that's more Finn to me. But we're not here to. We'll move on.
Oh man, Christian, man, he's so good. He's so good when he's a savage. When he just goes ham, it's so good. But we go. Lexi Nair is outside of MJF's locker room after his matchup with Hangman Adam Page at Revolution, and he was telling himself in the mirror that he's a fraud before smashing the mirror with his hand and screaming for Lexi to get out. That set up our next segment, which was MJF with a in-ring promo. He comes out to discuss his loss to Hangman Adam Page at Revolution. He says that he has a splitting headache, his hand and body hurts, but what hurts the most is that he, along with all the schmucks at home and in the arena, know he had that match won on Sunday. The cowardly cowboy decided for a cheap shot like he did in 2019, and the fans can chant Page's name all they want, but he's not upset anymore, as he's thought long and hard about it, and he's 10 times smarter than Hangman Page is and his fans ever will be. MJF thinks 10 steps ahead, and he will get his. So that this thing between he and Hangman isn't over, not by a long shot. But this is when this whole segment turns and becomes very interesting, confusing, and intriguing all at the same time, as MVP and the music of the Hurt Syndicate hits, and that brings out the leader of the Hurt Syndicate. He walks out alone as he's given Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley the night off. After a brief face-off between the two men, they gave each other a big hug and acted like they were old buddies. MVP then goes through the history between himself and Maxwell Jacob Freeman, as he says an 18-year-old MJF volunteered to drive him to a documentary film for the low price of hearing about the pro wrestling business. The questions that MJF asked was what impressed MVP the most. Cut to an indie company in Florida, and they met again, as MVP mentioned the drive MJF had, and something you could not teach. MJF did everything he said he was going to do back then, and that's what makes MVP very proud of him today. MVP said what makes him not so proud is how MJF has handled the loss on Sunday. Out here whining to the people. MVP questions why MJF isn't smashing things and hurting people. MVP knows the answer to the question. MJF has lost his edge, as the boys in the back don't respect him or fear him anymore. Who they do fear is the Hurt Syndicate, which is what MJF is missing. MVP was able to help MJF a long time ago, but maybe he can help him again. When he passed out his business card when he debuted, it was a way to introduce himself. But now it's a way to change your career and to make you a champion. Maybe it's time for them to talk some business. MVP went to hand out his card to MJF, who refused. MJF said that he's not the same kid he was all those years ago. And with all due respect, he doesn't need MVP's help or advice. He is Maxwell Jacob Freeman, and if the moron fans want to hear it or not, he was the longest reigning AEW World Champion in history. For 406 consecutive days, he was on top. MVP said to focus on the operative word, was, before he once again handed MJF the card, and this time MJF took it and he puts it in his jacket. I was very intrigued by this. So the question is, first, what did you think about this? I thought this was a really well done segment, kind of breaking down the history, the real life history between the two. And you could tell with MVP going through the history and MJF's reaction, where he's like smiling ear to ear, almost has a tear in his eyes, like reminiscing about it. This really was a genuine relationship that they formed together, that they were talking about on camera. But I like that. I like the offer here because it's making MVP kind of feel like a Paul Heyman type character that can bring you to success. And it doesn't matter. It's not just the Negroes that he was handing it out to when he first got here. He's now handing it to one of the top stars who's on his decline, and he thinks that he can bring him back to prominence. I like MJF's reaction, kind of being the cocky, arrogant asshole that we all know him to be. But I like MVP being like, was. Here's the card, and then MJF taking it. This was probably the most intriguing segment of the show. What did you think about the segment itself? And the key question, do you think MJF aligns with MVP and joins the Hurt Syndicate?
As far as the segment went, that was really good. Kind of a throwback to MJF and Regal, which I remember enjoying. Though this probably was better than all those, if I'm being honest. MJF joining the Hurts, I don't see it. If this was generic white guy 6, I could see it. This is the biggest draw in the company. Only way this even works if this is like a long-term MJF is attempting to take over. MJF using them. MJF hustling as per always. Otherwise, I don't see him being a fully fledged member of the group. He's going to be above Lashley. How's that work? It's MJF. It's MJF. He's the top guy in the group. Really? Yeah. Sorry. I don't see it. I don't see it. I assume this is the way we're going to turn the Syndicate babyface.
I can see that. I can see them using this as a way to turn Hurt Syndicate firmly babyface after they've kind of teetered the line of them being the cool heels.
Yeah. And MJF's the perfect guy to do it against. Outside of Moxley, who would be even more perfect. Nobody like that shit. But MJF's like number 2.
We got Nicky Boy with a great comparison. He says this would be like Owen joining the Nation.
It's like Austin joining the Nation. What? It's the biggest guy in the company. What are we doing?
Nicky Boy says, I don't see him joining though. Chillin' with Jay says, I like that MJF might be getting good character development. He needs something different.
Think so?
Right now.
I thought he's developing. He's great.
Yeah, I think he has been developing, especially with the Hangman rivalry, which doesn't seem like it's over from what he said here and what we would see later in the show. I think if he continues on that path with the Hangman character, we're seeing more layers being added to both characters at the same time, which is a mark of a good rivalry.
Before I forget, Hangman's haircut is heinous.
It really is bad.
I would agree.
It really is bad. I noticed it a bit like towards the end of the matchup at Revolution, and then noticed it even more during that backstage segment on the show.
Fair enough.
We got Frantic World who says, I saw someone say MJF is going to be the Hurt Syndicate DEI higher SMH. LOL.
What's the EI actually stand for? Diversity, equality,
quality, initiative,
inclusion,
or inclusion. Okay.
Yeah. I just know what the Republican thing is. Didn't earn it. Sorry. Their words, not me. Their words, not mine.
Not mine. Next up is the best enhancement talent in the game right now, Jimmy Macram. Max Caster is in the ring to do his best wrestler alive shtick. He thanks the Maximaniacs for making his shirt the most popular shirt on Shop AEW. Caster says that he was the most popular member of the Acclaim before trying to get his "Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive. Let's go, Max, you're the best wrestler alive" chant going to crickets from the crowd. He calls the fans stupid, which finally got a reaction from them. He said whoever answers his open challenge is stupid as well. And that brings out the former AEW International Champion, Konosuke Takeshita. Immediately, when Takeshita's music stops, the crowd starts a chant, but a very loud "You fucked up" chant. And this is when Max Caster started bawling. Max Caster says, "Thank you for your concern." he then says, "Takeshita, what are you doing out here? I'd kill you." He said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Takeshita, you must be here to ask me to join the Don Callis family." He's like, "Think about it." He said, "I could main event the Tokyo Dome. I can get a recording contract and do something that Takeshita wasn't able to do, beat Kenny Omega." Takeshita hears that and waffles Max with a forearm. It looks like he's about to pin him, but instead he lifts up his dead body and slaps him back to life, just so he could pick him up to hit the Raging Fire. 1, 2, 3. Takeshita picks up the victory here, and Max Caster got the job done in making me laugh and making someone look like a beast again. This is why he's the best, not the best wrestler alive, the best enhancement talent alive.
Jesus. Poor Max.
What did you think about this?
Great work from everybody involved. Obviously, Max Caster is naturally hilarious. He's got a strange charisma about him. I don't know where this is going, though. My guess is it just keeps happening, then it eventually gets dropped. But I want this to lead to something. I just don't know what. Max has earned a place somewhere. I just don't know where.
Nikki Boy says the best jobber alive. I love that. I love that the Max Caster haters are like hating this right now. They're hating this because he's so good at this role. He's so good at this role. But they don't want to praise him for it. They just want to keep hating him.
He is hateable. But it's great.
We got M Bison who says him saying he would kill Takeshita was hilarious. He popped me with the thank you for your concern to the fans saying you fucked up, and then he popped me so much saying, "Takeshita, what you doing out here? I'd kill you."
What's next with Takeshita outside of being sent overseas somewhere to have matches?
Well, he's got he's got a match in New Japan coming up next month. Hiroshi Tanahashi. As far as AEW, I think he is going to have one more match with Omega because they're now 1-1. I would think because they're doing the tournament now for Dynasty, probably that comes at like double or nothing. They do the third match between those two. So keep him strong with some TV wins in the meantime.
Sure. They can't catch a break. He should be in the conversation for best wrestler on the fucking planet.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
He'd probably be number one for me. No, think about it. Ospreay's work bothers me. Gunther's not doing anything.
Omega?
Over Takeshita? Right now? 2025? I don't know. I go Statlander, EO, Gunther, Swerve, Ospreay.
And Takeshita would be number one above all of those?
Eventually, yeah. Yeah. But I can't now. He doesn't wrestle enough for me.
That's fair. That's fair. We got M. Bison who says Caster is one of my favorite characters in wrestling right now. It's how I felt with Dom a couple of years back. Yeah, when Dom was in his real heel era. Now it's just like a kind of it's a stick to do when you're live there. Boo Dom so he doesn't talk.
Boo Dom, because that's what you do.
Yeah. We get footage from the Revolution 0 hour of Chris Jericho in the Learning Tree attacking Gravity and Bandito with a baseball bat before his ROH World Title match could take place. Jericho then unmasked Gravity, leaving the family of Gravity and Bandito to tend to him. Chris Jericho cuts a promo backstage where he basically is cutting fucking Hamlet because he has the skull. He has fucking Gravity's mask in his hand like it's a fucking skull. I think he put Gravity's mask on a skull so he could do this. Jericho is backstage holding Gravity's mask and said, "Gravity is the perfect word to introduce he and Bandito to their situation." Jericho embarrassed Bandito in front of his family, scaring his sister, making his mother cry. Jericho asks, how could one come back from that, realizing the disappointment his mother has in him? Maybe Bandito brought it on himself, or maybe he's an unlucky son of a bitch that Jericho made a point out of, not to be comfortable around Chris Jericho. He crumbled up the mask and threw it aside as he finished his promo. I think you said this a couple of weeks ago. When Jericho's been like edging towards this more serious character, his promos are stronger.
Yeah, and you forget he's one of the best promos ever. Mainly because he's been garbage as of late, but there's another really good one. Even the ridiculousness of talking to a skull or a mask works for me. This was really good. As long as I have to watch him wrestle, I'm good with all this.
I agree there. As long as we don't have to watch him wrestle, he can do all the talking he wants, do all the beat up angles he wants. Just don't wrestle for that long, please. Next up, we had some women's action. We had Willow Nightingale going one-on-one with Penelope Ford in singles action. We get early shoulder tackle by Willow, who blocked a Cazadora into a body slam, and a low crossbody for a 2. Nightingale missed with a lariat, but managed a snap suplex. Ford tried her matrix bridge and sent Willow into the corner with a drop kick to the spine. Set up a double knee drop to the midsection on the apron as we went to commercial break. During the break, it was all Penelope, but Willow fired back with a series of lariats. High boot led to a big spine buster for a near fall. Ford slipped out of the doctor bomb and tried for a backslide, but Willow powered out into like a gory special. Ford escaped by hitting the forehead before biting her forehead before locking in a triangle in the ropes. Ford tried for a top rope crossbody for 2 before licking Willow again, which Taz called pretty wacky. Nightingale responded with a running power slam, but Ford got a flash cradle for her too. They both traded kicks as Ford successfully hit her Matrix Stunner. She tried again, only for Willow to hit the pounce, period, clearing Penelope across the ring. And that actually got her the 1-2-3. Instead of her going for the Dr. Bomb, she just gets the win with the pounce. A strong victory for Willow, her first time back in in-ring action, I think in like 2 months on Dynamite.
Jesus.
Post-match though, oh man. Penelope Ford went to the Hulk Hogan 1995 Nia Jax School of Chair Shots as she cracked Willow in the ribs and in the back with the weakest chair shot you would see this side of Nia in War Games. They kept the attack going until Chris Statlander ran down to make the save. Penelope tried for a chair shot, but Statlander ducked and hit a drop kick, sending the chair into Ford. Statlander then helped Willow up, but she didn't realize who it was and initially shoved Statlander away. But this led to both ladies staring at each other until the Mega Sis showed up again. Mega Bayne comes in, hits a double clothesline on both women before picking up Statlander and giving her the F5 to stand tall for the second time tonight. Megan Bayne looks like an absolute badass and beast as they set her up to be the number one contender for the AEW World Championship. I think the key here, I think that this probably the second segment with her standing tall probably should set up like a three-way to kind of give her a legitimate win to give her the title shot at Dynasty with Stat and Willow playing off of their whole will they, won't they be friends again storyline.
I guess that's where we're going. Match was good. Willow's great, and Ford is here. Willow against another body is going to be a good match. It is what it is. What was I going to say? This should probably take place before the Toni Storm promo. The fact that Toni didn't come out is odd. She wasn't hit that hard by Bayne to not make the save here.
And this is why Toni probably should have been the main event.
Oh. Sold. She deserves it because she's the biggest star in this place outside of Omega and MJF. Bayne, Willow, Statlander. That'd be a great match. I assume Willow takes the pin since Bayne has already pinned Statlander. What did I tell you as soon as you told me about the Ford match? What did I tell you as soon as you told me about the Ford match? We're building up Willow to take a loss. I know what fucking time it is. Good Lord. Oh, throwback. God damn.
Lance Storm style chair shots. Yeah, Lance Storm was never good at doing chair shots either. Yeah.
I'm with you, Anna, because it's some bullshit. But hey, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, these are like they should be in the upper echelon with your Tonys, with your Mercedes. They should not be the ones that you always build to build up the other ladies. And it always seems like they are.
Don't understand. Statlander is the best wrestler on the planet. I'm calling it right now. Best wrestler on the planet, vagina or otherwise. And she's being used to build up other people. And Willow should be the face of the division. And here we are. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed.
I think you're going to get more annoyed because next up, Renee Paquette is backstage with Mercedes Moné. She is backstage who is selling her bruised throat. I do love the chemistry between Mercedes and Renee Paquette, where she's not able to say her signature line, so Paquette says it for her. Paquette says, "Say hello to your CEO." Paquette says that Moné requested Billy Starks join them as she walked in and said that her note-taking from Revolution was not to get kicked in the throat. Stark says that she's accomplished a lot here since coming to AEW. She was the first inaugural Ring of Honor Women's TV champion at 19 years old. At that, they aren't that different as wrestling has been their life since they were very young. Stark says that Moné says money changes everything, and next week she's looking to become the champion. Moné coughed a bit and said that Starks is way out of her league. She shoved Starks in the face and said next week she will learn there's a price to pay when you mess with Mercedes Moné.
Oh.
This was fun.
Right. Oh, like a group now. It wasn't bad. It was fine. I gotta be honest though. Damn. All right. You guys said it first. I'll keep going. Fuck it. Yeah, Billy's generic and awkward. I thought that was the point. Maybe apparently it's not. All right, fair enough. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you then. Yeah. No. I've done a lot here in AEW. I won the ROH thing. Oh, well. Good on you, I suppose. I mean, I like that. All right, I'll say this. I'll say this for like the production of this. I like the idea of Billy being this every woman because her dress, her outfit compared to Mercedes, who looks like she's about to perform a concert, and Billy looking like she just came from the store, is kind of perfect. But all the talking, Renee is the best performer here. That's an issue. That's a big issue. I don't know if you're aware. That's a problem. This is leading to the fucking Athena match that you all wanted to see so very desperately. I couldn't care less. I'm sorry. I got nothing for you.
I wish that the promos and the exchanges that they had would tease that more.
Maybe we're not looking. Well, to be fair, we're a long way away, ain't we? Ain't fucking it in June?
July.
Jesus. Oh, yeah. Oh, please and thank you.
Next up was Will Ospreay. Tony Schiavone welcomes him to the ring as he's moving really gingerly and talked about the stitches in his head. He says that he might have gotten stabbed in the ribs as he shows that his rib cage is taped up as well, but he's still standing. Ospreay says that he was scared for his life at Revolution, but thanks everyone for their support. It carried him through. One day, Kyle Fletcher will be world champion, and if they stand in the ring again, he'll be the better man once more. Ospreay said that he's in trouble with his wife, and he had to lie. As a day before the cage match, she told him she was nervous and said that not to do anything stupid off the top of the cage. Ospreay says that he's in his 30s now. He's not doing anything stupid off the cage, but saw fans holding their phones up as he was on top of the cage with Kyle Fletcher and someone saying, "Please don't die." He went to the back and he saw 15 missed messages from the missus, who couldn't believe he jumped off the flipping cage. Ospreay promised to cook her dinner and a damn good seeing to. Schiavone said that he understands all of that, but he asks what's next for Ospreay. In order to be the guy in AEW, says Ospreay, there is something that needs to be around his waist. But there's an issue. He says Cope has a title match next week. Swerve Strickland, his good friend, has a title shot at Dynasty. So when should he call his shot? He says, when it matters the most, as he looked up at the All In Texas sign. And he says that he's on a mission to be in the main event for the AEW world title at All In Texas. And how he can do that is by entering the Owen Hart Cup. If it's against Cope, it'll be his pleasure for a first time ever meeting. If it's Swerve Strickland, he can't wait for that rematch. But if it's Moxley, the king, a word in advance, an assassin is coming for the throne. Ospreay wants to be the guy in AEW because he knows he can do it. He wants to be the world champion because his name is Will Ospreay and he is on another level. This was a breath of fresh air. It's been too long since we got an in-ring promo for Will Ospreay, and I forgot that he's very good at this part of the game, better than a lot of people gave him credit to before he got here. And he just seems comfortable in this type of format with Tony Schiavone holding the mic for him, setting him up for what's next, and him going through the whole diatribe, the whole story with his wife. He's very relatable. As someone that has a missus, I was like, yeah, my missus gets mad at me for stupid shit I do. So I felt that was very relatable, and it got back to Will Ospreay, the everyday bruv character, which I thought was a good point because they had steered away from that during the Don Callis rivalry. What did you think? You're muted. I think you're muted.
Hear me?
Yeah, no, you're.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm looking at these comments. I'm glad I'm not alone, bro. Speed this shit up. The fuck are you even talking about? His wife, the cage. All right, we got it. Lord, it's an hour and a half of the show. We're ready to get to that big main event. Speed this shit up. But yeah, Ospreay is fun, I guess. As much as I didn't like the wife stuff, I think I like the stuff after even less. All in. You said that's in July?
Yeah.
You get the fuck out of here.
It just makes me think that they're going to start the Owen Hart Cup early this year, probably at like Dynasty.
Okay. Spread it out. Oh, Roddy Piper reference. Yeah. We're not as good as Piper, let's be clear, but I get what you're saying. Piper fucking, sometimes he started fucking going off about nothing. It's like, sir, please. When's the NWO coming back? Yeah, this was fine. I can't quite say painless, but fine.
I liked it. I loved it, actually. Will's awesome. The everyday bruv.
Anybody else like this? Speak up now. Outside of Frantic World, you don't count. Anybody else like this?
Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that, Skip. Come on. Renee Paquette
Who
is
hated,
back.
who hated LeBron's thing outside of Skip Bayless? I want to know who hated it. That's it.
Just you hate it, and Skip got his followers too. Jay White is here backstage with Renee Paquette, and he mocks the Ospreay chant, saying that Willie really is on another level, and sometime soon they'll see each other in the ring again. White congratulates Ospreay on his win at Revolution, but if he wants a world title match at All In, they're going to have to keep protecting him from Switchblade. Ooh. Paquette asks what happened at Revolution, and White said that everyone wants to know if he hit Cope with the briefcase on purpose, and asks Paquette what she thinks, and then asks the crowd what they think. The crowd all say yes. White said that he did not hit Cope on purpose, as he's done everything to win the world title from Jon Moxley. But that little rat, talking about Wheeler Yuta, saved his king back at World's End. He'll be damned if he'll let anyone stop him from fulfilling his destiny and becoming the AEW World Champion. This seemed to tease that he's going to have a future match with Ospreay as well as Swerve down the line. This was a good promo by Switchblade.
Absolutely. Especially following that fucking Ospreay promo. Jay White, straight to the point. Talking about something that actually fucking matters. Jay White is the fucking man. It is what it is, and it's been obvious to me for a while. I don't think it'll ever lead to anything, but it's not 10 for at least a little while. Jay White's going somewhere.
Fair. Definitely fair. Next we would go. Well, yeah. What do you think? Do you think that he's going to get involved in the title match next week?
Oh, certainly. I don't think he'll be. Do I? Do we get the Jay White turn next week?
I hope so. Talking about speeding shit up. I need that. I need Switchblade to be the heel. We all know he's heel, but we just haven't got the confirmation yet.
I've thoroughly enjoyed babyface Jay White. I
have too. Don't get me wrong. I have too, but I much rather him in his heel mode.
Why? So we can fucking lose to Swerve and Ospreay? Well, thank you. I'm not interested. Then again, do I want him as sidekick to Edge? That's kind of an ass.
Yeah, exactly. That's all they've done is him being a sidekick to Adam Copeland. Over the last, at least since Cope returned at the beginning of the year, that's all he's been for the last 3 months.
If he turns next week, listen, I'm here for a Jay White Edge feud. That can be fun. It'll fit Edge better at the very least. Somebody who can carry this fucking thing. We'll see.
Yeah. I just hope that that Cope gives up one of his rare pinfall losses to
to Jay White. No, you can let that dream go right now.
He's like, did Jay White wrestle in WWE? Oh, then no.
You sell out Madison Square Garden? No. All right.
Then no, never mind. Renee Paquette approaches Hangman Adam Page backstage and was attempting to ask him about Revolution when they walk past MJF. And Page asks if he wants to finish breaking his neck. Or he says last week, MJF tried to set him on fire. But when he does something like that, he really has to mean it. However, Sunday, MJF let the mask slip. Page realized that MJF cares about what the fans think of him a lot more than he thought. MJF says that he's glad Page thinks he wasn't going to set him on fire. So he'll call Page's bluff, as Page doesn't realize what is next. Hangman had a fluke victory on Sunday, but MJF is going to go on to become a multi-time world champion, a first ballot Hall of Famer, and the greatest of all time. While Page fails to reach the pinnacle, only to stumble all the way down, wallowing in his own self-pity. When Page's mask slips, Page doesn't think he deserves the fans' love. And he's right. As sooner rather than later, the fans will grow tired of thinking Hangman will win the big one again, when he never will. MJF will win it over and over again, laughing at Hangman up that mountain. Page says that they'll see, won't they? And MJF walks away. Excalibur says that these two will be intertwined with one another for years to come. I thought this was a great back and forth between them to continue the rivalry. And I love the fact that both men are calling out that their massive slip, that MJF cares way more about the fans loving him. And Hangman feels that he doesn't deserve the fans' love anymore for everything that he's done. And MJF is after the world title, and he thinks he's going to reach it before Hangman Page ever does again. So I love that fact. And I love the fact that overarching outside of the tournament for the international title shot at Dynasty, the other overarching kind of theme of the episode was all these main event players are targeting the world title. Ospreay, Christian, Page, MJF, Switchblade. I love that. I love when everybody is going after the world title. What did you think?
Good promo. Good stuff from Hangman and MJF. Didn't tell us anything we don't already know, but I thought it was well done, and I like it being kind of thrown in their faces. Minor nitpick, MJF saying he'll win the world title over and over bothers me. If you win it over and over, that means you lose it over and over. That's a terrible idea. I hate that Russell said that, but whatever. Yeah, it was really good.
We got a couple of comments here. We got Annika says, I love this segment. Hopefully they're both in the Owen Cup. Yeah, the fact that we had all these main event players going after, do you think that we get at least half of them in the Owen Hart Cup? Because please, if it's for a world title shot, we need main event players in this shit. You could have one mid-card to upper-card guy in there, but the main event players, the guys I just named, your Christians, your MJF, your Hangmans, your Switchblades, your Will Ospreay, they need to be in this tournament.
Do I think so? It's entirely possible. Do I want it? Well, certainly. I said MJF. I can't have MJF in any tournaments. MJF should be a one fall to a finish guy. Like, that's all he cares about. Is if he's got to beat, let's say he's got to win number one contender match, and then win the championship, he refused to do that. But if, let's say, there was like a 60-man battle royal for the championship, he would do that. Just one shot. That's it. I don't turn him into if I could just win,
or he gets a bye. He somehow gets a bye in the tournament. I can see that. I can see him like million dollar man in the WWF Championship tournament for WrestleMania 4.
You still got to win 2 matches. Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Hangman's haircut. We talked about that earlier? I think we did. That shit was heinous.
Yeah.
Boy. Good Lord. Shave your head.
For the recap.
Please. Fuck. Is he trying to look not cool? Is this character work he's doing here? Maybe.
Character work. Don't do a perm. Your hair is not suited for a perm.
It is not. The second worst hair on the show.
Who's first?
It's not a mullet. So there's that.
Oh God, he's back on Speedball, guys.
2025, a mullet. What are we doing?
And then we had the main event of the show, the second of two international title Eliminator tournament first round matches. It's Hechicero going one-on-one with Orange Cassidy. Jim Ross comes out to be on commentary. Jim Ross actually puts over Speedball Mike Bailey in his match earlier in the evening. Hechicero blocked Cassidy from going into his pockets in the early going, only for Orange to walk to the top rope and put one hand in his pocket before Hechicero stepped away. Cassidy put on the brakes and put both hands in his pocket before hitting a snap drop kick and then the kip up. Hechicero tried a handspring but landed right on his head, allowing Cassidy for a roll-up with no hands before taking a dive and kipping up as Hechicero took a powder again. During the commercial break, Hechicero targeted the arm of Cassidy. When things returned from break, Hechicero hung Cassidy over the top rope and then did like a nice little dragon screw between the ropes and worked over the leg of it. Cassidy managed a crossbody off the top but couldn't follow up with a spinning DDT, allowing a hammerlock backbreaker by Hechicero for a 2. Cassidy answered with a stun dog millionaire and then a spinning DDT, but he tried to kip up, but his leg gave away. Good sell. Cassidy signaled for the orange punch, but his arm was also injured from Hechicero's work, so he went up top slowly but dove right into an armbar by Hechicero. Eventually getting the rope break, though, Orange tried for another stun dog millionaire, but that was blocked. So was the orange punch, as Hechicero tried to a swinging torture rack, only for Cassidy to get the mousetrap pin combination for the 1-2-3 here to move on in the AEW Dynasty International Championship Eliminator Tournament. Post-match, as Orange was celebrating, the music of Speedball Mike Bailey hits. He walks out on the stage and he does a bow to Orange as they both advance to next week's 4-way eliminator to see who faces Kenny Omega for the international title coming up at Dynasty. Smash was all right. It was all right. I didn't think they had the best chemistry with one another. I thought Hechicero looked good in the matchup, working over all the limbs of Orange, but it didn't feel like we got the best Orange Cassidy in this matchup. So, what did you think?
Do you still have that picture? AEW is really not good with like framing. This looks like a very small child, doesn't it?
This guy. Oh my God.
The words and opinions of Jimmy Macram do not necessarily reflect those of True Heel Heat, its viewers, or affiliates.
I looked down for a second, then I looked back up, and that picture was on the screen. That's why I started laughing. I was like, what the fuck? You're going to get it. All right. Whatever you say. All right. Sit down. Shut up. I just want to get past this part. I ain't going to hold you. I just want to make it past the fucking 3 weeks when you guys are enamored with something. I think we can move on. Oh, the match. Who cares? Who cares? Hechicero and Orange Cassidy. This is not the best Orange Cassidy performance. When's the last time you saw a great Orange Cassidy performance?
2 weeks ago against Takeshita.
That's not a great Orange Cassidy performance. That's a great Takeshita performance.
No, it was a great Orange Cassidy performance too.
You know how great Diesel is? You see that Bret Hart match? Right. How'd he pull that off?
That was a great Diesel performance. That was a Survivor Series
Diesel performance.
He was a great monster in that match.
This was a terrible idea for a main event. I don't care about any of this. I am ready for Omega to defeat whoever the fuck. We should have did the catch the rematch. I ain't gonna hold you. This tournament is fine, but what are we doing? I am so bothered by all of this. I'm ready to move on with life. The show was exactly what I thought it was going to be. Well, the in-ring stuff was. Some of the promos came out of fucking nowhere. That video pack came out of nowhere. Like, that was fucking fantastic, but
The promos were really good on the show overall. The wrestling was not. So it was kind of like balancing the scales, if you will. But let us know in the chat. Final call, guys. Show us some love with a super chat donation. We always appreciate those. It always goes back to myself and Jimmy. So show us some love in that regards. But also in the live chat, let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give the show? For me and Jimmy, for the March 12th, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, like an Orange Cassidy thumbs up. Out of 10, what did you give this show, Jimmy?
You know what? You're going this. I'm going with 6.5. Sorry. I can't justify a rating higher than that. I don't care how much I love Toni Storm. I just can't. I can't do it.
Yeah, I was like thumbs in the middle, thumbs up. I'm between like a 6.5 and a 7. I'm gonna go with 7 because the Toni Storm promo and the video package and Christian Cage and the MJF and MVP was good enough for me to give it a passing grade, but just barely. If it wasn't for the promos on this show, this probably would have been the worst rating since the January 29th edition of Dynamite.
Revolution is officially over.
Yeah. Hopefully they get it back with next week's show, which, I mean, I think that the street fight will be better than Revolution. I think that Mercedes and Billy should be good because when the bell rings, Mercedes gets good. And yeah, so I think that next week will be a better show than this show. Jimmy, who was your MVP for the show?
Christian Cage, back where he belongs. Good Lord. Man, it's fantastic. Light work.
Yeah. I'm going to give it to Timeless Toni Storm, though. I love that promo. And I love the video package. I honorable mention to Megan Bayne because she did look like an absolute monster wiping through the 3 top ladies in the promotion. So that was something. But yeah, and Christian Cage was great as well. Who is your LVP for the show?
I don't want to get to Tony Khan again. Let's go with fucking Dralistico. Because fucking ill.
Dralistico was probably the worst in-ring performer on this show. So yeah, I'll give it to Dralistico. And match of the night, I give it to Speedball Mike Bailey versus the Beast Mortals.
Match of the night, who cares? Because in wrestling, match of the night is only as important as promos of the night. And that is Toni Storm.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you
Free wrestling. Free us from this fucking... Nice. Yeah. Come on now. Toni Storm's great.
She's awesome. That's why she was my MVP. But that brings us to a close for our AEW Dynamite review, AEWramble episode 189. I appreciate y'all in the live chat continuing the conversation. And of course, if you're watching us on demand, let us know what you thought about this week's AEW Dynamite in the comments down below. Jimmy, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media, when they will see you again.
At Jimmy Macram on Twitter, on YouTube. That's where I be.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be over on Jimmy's channel for Daredevil Born Again, episode 3, reaction and review. So go over and check that out. I'll be back on the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment YouTube channel on Sunday to review Daredevil Born Again, episode 3 over there. And check out True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment right now as we have our our Traders Season 3 review. Myself, Ella J, and Miss Trissy Love broke it all down, everything that happened on the latest season of the best reality show in the land, Traders. So go over and check that out right now if you haven't already. We always appreciate the support over there. And you can also check out me and Jimmy with our AEW Revolution 2025 review. Like I said earlier in the show, I thought that this was the best Revolution review out there, because me and Jimmy, we agreed on some stuff, we disagreed on some stuff, we talked about the good, the bad, the ugly of Revolution. And yes, I had one of my all-time best rants. I wanted to ask you, what did you rate my rant at the start of the Revolution review from 0 to 10?
Let me think. How harsh do you want to be? We're gonna give it 4 stars. 4 out of 5.
Oh, thank you. See. I got the same rating as Jimmy gave Ospreay and Fletcher. He's wrong.
Spanish 5 on the steel cage, and we're gonna keep going. Oh, good lord!
It wasn't keep going. That was basically the finish. He hits him with a hidden blade and then the Tiger Driver. Don't rewrite.
Oh, he just hits him with 2 more finishes. That's it. Oh well, thank God. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah, because it's the end of the feud. He has to fucking kill him.
Right. Hey, kill him on the top of the steel cage. What do you mean? Gotta kill him. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. We're gonna have a stroke.
Kill him.
We're not gonna do this.
Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. Kill him. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat, patreon.com/True Hill Heat, $3 a month. Gets you exclusive content, the best way to support us when we are not live here. And like I said before, check out our Revolution review that's up right now on the homepage. Check it out. Thank you. Chilling with Chase, who says the Revolution review might be the episode of the year for GHH so far. Thank you for that.
Damn.
Appreciate that. Yes. See, and look at that. King Potatoes, like, I got to go back and watch this review. Absolutely. You need to. It's a must. But yes, thank you guys for joining us live today, and we will be back with you next Thursday on AEWramble, reviewing next week's AEW Dynamite with the street fight between Cope and Mox. But this has been AEWramble, episode 189, Better to Hurt People. We are signing off until next time.
Look at that hair. Look at MJF's hair. Clean.